Alright, we are going to be working on page 5. So, page 5, we have that's page 4. Alright, page 5, we have the blank space here. You open it up. You have a possibility of a flap and a pocket or 2 pockets. And then you have 2 pockets on this side. Okay? And then you have your back side that attaches to page 6. So, what you're going to need is I'm going to give you the diagrams. We're going to need a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So what you're going to do is you're going to score at 6 inches across, all the way down, and then 6 inches all the way across. So 6 inches and 6 inches. Then you're going to make a tally mark at 6 and 1/16, and then a tally mark at 6 and 1/16 down here, and you're going to connect the line. Then you're going to mark at 4 inches. Mark at 4 inches. You're going to connect your line, and then you're going to cut that. Then you're going to cut from your 4-inch line to your... No, we didn't cut that one off. Nope, don't cut this off. We're going to score on this line here, okay? So at your 4-inch mark, you're going to mark at 4, and then you're going to score. So you don't have to worry about that. Then you're going to cut from your 4-inch line on the middle to the 6 and 1/16. Then you're going to make a line from your corner to corner, and we're going to cut that. Okay? So, to get started, we're going to put our 12 by 12 paper in, and we are going to score at 6 inches. Score at 6 inches, flip it around, score at 6 inches. Okay? Then on the bottom half, you are going to make a mark at 6 and 1/16. Making sure that your page is at the 6-inch spot. You're going to make a mark at the 6 and 1/16. And you might as well make the one at the 6-inch mark too, because you're going to be cutting that off. Then we're going to go down here to the bottom, and we are going to put at the 6-inch. We're going to mark at 6-inch and one at 6 and 1/16. Then we are going to, with your second line, well, let's connect these first, and then we'll cut them off, and then we'll work on the next. So we're going to connect our lines. And then we're going to connect our lines. We're going to cut that 1/16 of an inch off. Cut that 1/16 of an inch off. We're going to cut it up here on the top. Okay, so now you have a little page that looks like this, where you cut your 1/16 of an inch off. We're going to flip this around. Put it up at the top. We're going to score at 4 inches. All the way until we get to the 6-inch mark. Okay? We're going to draw a line from the corner on this side to the corner in the middle. Now we are going to cut from our 6-inch mark to the 4-inch mark. Okay? Then we're going to take this corner here off. Okay? So now you are left with a piece that looks like this. Okay? What I did here is I just took, did I do that one? No. All I did was take I'm going to add hinges to these, to this one, because it doesn't want to stay. So I'm just going to take a 1-inch piece, fold it in half, and I'm going to attach it to here to attach here. So I made a pocket, and I'm going to do that up on the top part too. Or you can do like I did on here, just put a small bead of glue here and a small bead of glue here. Alright, so let me see. This one folds up, and if you have to, just take that smidgen off on this side here, just to make sure that you don't interfere with the score line. I'm going to take a 1/16 of an inch off. Just a smidgen to keep that from touching the score mark. Alright. Well, actually, this was this way, so this goes down underneath, and then I have my flap here. So then I'm going to take this, and actually you don't have to mess with it now. You don't have to cut that little piece off, because it shouldn't bother it. So then I'm going to flip this up. Now you can just put a bead of glue down here on the side over here, or use your pocket folds here. So take an inch, score it in half, attach it to this side here, and then attach it to the page. Okay? This one here, we're going to score 1/2 inch on this side. And we're going to flip it around, and we're going to score it 1/2 inch. Okay? We're going to cut this corner off, fold these, cut these little pieces here off so they don't interfere with your pocket. Then we're just going to apply glue, and we're going to apply it right here on the corner. So now we have 2 pockets. Okay? Once you apply glue here, or your pocket gussets, then you'll have a pocket here, and you'll have a flip down here. If you wanted to make this a pocket, put a bead of glue down here on the side, or your gusset pocket, and then put one over here on this side. And then that way you'll have a pocket here, and then a pocket here. So it's up to you. I left mine as a flap. Okay, so page, and you're going to fold this in this way, and this page is done. Alright, we are on to page 6. So I have my diagram. I have a 12 by 12 piece of paper. I have my book, and then I have a look at it, okay? So this one starts off, this back portion, it gets glued to page 5. Then you have this one on the inside. This one has the 2 flips this way, and then it has a flip this way. What you can do for a variation is you can make this a little flip and cut part of that off and make this a pocket. You can make this whole thing a pocket, flip down 2 inches, and then you have a pocket over here. I left mine just as regular flaps. I like the flaps. Okay, and then it opens up like this, and it folds down. So you have three variations. You have a flap, you have a smaller flap where we took 2 inches off over the top, glued it onto this bottom flap here, so you have a little pocket here, and then you have your fold over. Or you can score 2 inches over here, put it down, put a pocket here on this side, and then glued this portion down and made a pocket on this side. Okay? So let's get started on that one. So what you're going to need is you're going to score at 3 inches and at 9 inches. For your top portion to the 3-inch mark, you're going to score at 1 and 1/16. Then you're going to score the middle portion at 6. And then you're going to score the bottom section at 6 and 1/16. Then you're going to make a line at the 2-inch mark and make a line at the 2-inch mark. That's in case if you want to make pockets. We are not going to make pockets. Maybe we'll make pockets this time. So let's get started. So what you're going to need is you're going to score. Get that out of the way. You're going to score at 3 inches and at 9 inches. Oops. What? I don't know why that's doing that. We're just going to flip over and score at 3 inches. Because it doesn't want to stay over there. Alright. So 3 and 9. We're going to flip it over. We are going to mark this at, put our ruler in, making sure that we're marked or we're even. We are going to make a tally mark at the 6 and 1/16. Okay, we're going to do that on the top, and we're going to do that at the bottom. So, making sure that that's lined up at the end of the ruler. Okay, and 6 and, oh, can't see. There we go. Let's move that back over there. 6 and 1/16. That's where you're going to score those at. So I would put this in at the 6-inch mark on your little tally mark, making sure that it's even. So score till you get to the 3-inch mark. Okay? We're going to flip it over. The tally mark we made, we're going to put that at the 6-inch mark. Making sure that it's at the top. And we are going to score to the 3-inch mark. Or 9-inch, whatever. Now we are going to put our paper, and we are going to score we're going to score at 6 inches. So we have this one, so it'll be here. Okay? So now we are going to score. We're going to flip this over. We're going to score at 2 inches to the 3-inch mark. 3-inch score line. And let's see. Let's flip this over this way, and then we're going to score at the 2 inch. Till you get to the score line. Alright, that should be good. Almost. Alright. I just want to put it up here on the pen so I can see it, and then I'm just going to score that down. Alright, so you have a score mark at 3, score mark at 9. Then you have a score mark at 2 inches at the top, 2 inches at the bottom. Then you have a score mark at 6 1/16 at the top. In the middle is at 6 inches, and then at the bottom it's at the 6 1/16. Okay? So now we are going to, we only have 2 cuts on this one if you do it like this. So we're going to cut on the score line at the 3-inch mark all the way from the edge to the 6 1/16. Okay? Then we are going to cut again on the 9-inch mark from the edge on the 9-inch mark all the way to the 6 1/16. Okay? Now we are going to fold this over on the top. This piece here is going to get folded down. So now you have this piece, and then you have this piece. You don't have to make any of these pockets. If you want a smaller little fold, you can do that too. Okay, then this one gets folded over. And then this one gets folded over this way. So then you have this piece that folds up. And you're probably going to have to cut a smidgen of that off so that way it doesn't interfere with your score line. I just fixed it so it doesn't bother it. Then we're going to do this one, and this one's going to go down also. So now you have 2 flaps, look like this. So you're going to take this piece, you're going to fold it out, take this piece, and you're going to fold it out. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing with this one. Fold it out, and then fold this one out. So now you have your 2 pieces. Then you're just going to fold this over, and now you have your page. So if you wanted to leave this, you can leave it like this and have just a straight flap. You don't have to fold it or any. If you wanted to make this a pocket, you would just line up 2 pieces of glue on each side, or do your pocket folds, and then you would put that down. So you would do your inch thick, score it in the middle, attach it to here and here, and then attach them to here. And then if you wanted to leave this as a flap, you can, or you can attach the pocket gussets here to make this a pocket. Alright, so that page is done. On to the next. Alright, for page 7, we need our diagram. We need a 12 by 12 piece of paper. We need our fold that we've already done. So in this one here, you have the blank one, which is this front piece here. I added all this on to this front piece. So you have this piece, you open it up, you have a pocket here. This folds down, and then you have a pocket here. Okay, and then this attaches to the next page. So, here's your pocket here. I inserted my pocket tabs in here so that way I can get my tags and pictures and whatnot all the way to the edge of the paper, or the edge of the pocket. Okay? Then you have this flap here, and you have a pocket here. So, for our diagram, you're going to score at 6 inches. And let's see, so score at 6 inches all the way down. Flip it around. On the top half, you're going to score at 6 inches until you get to that middle score line. Here, you're going to make a tab at 6 1/16 on the top and the bottom. And you're going to score at 6 1/16. You are going to make a tally mark at the 6 inch mark at 3 inches and at 3 inches. And then you are going to cut from 3 inches to 6 1/16. Okay? So we got our paper. We are going to score we are going to score at 6 inches all the way across, or all the way down. Okay, we are going to flip it so our score mark is going horizontal. We are going to score at 6 inches from the top until you get to that score line in the middle. Okay, now what I'm going to do is get my ruler, place it on the 6 inch mark, and then I'm going to make a tally mark at 6 1/16. I'm going to come down here to the bottom, making sure that this lines up. And then I'm going to make a tally mark at the 6 1/16. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to put my tally mark at the 6 inch mark, making sure that it's even. And then I'm going to score till I get to the 6 inch mark, to my other tally mark. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a tally mark down here on the bottom. And I'm going to make a tally mark at 3 inches. Then I'm going to come down here to the bottom and make a tally mark at 3 inches. Okay? I'm going to attach my little tally marks. Then I am going to cut on my 3 inch mark. Up until you get to that 6 inch score line. Then I'm going to cut from my 3 inch mark on my 6 inch score line to the 6 1/16 of an inch score mark. Okay, so this is your page. You have a score mark all the way across at 6 inches. Top half, you got 6 inches till you get to the score mark. Then you're going to score at 6 1/16 all the way down. You're going to make cut at the 3 inch mark up to the 6 inch score mark. And you're going to cut from the 3 inch mark to the 6 1/16. So now what's going to happen is you're going to take this and you're going to fold this up. This you're going to form a pocket or a flap. If you're going to make a pocket, you've got to attach on 2 sides. This one here, we are going to fold this over. Fold it down. And then we're going to fold this up on the top. Okay, so you have a pocket here. If you want this to be a pocket, you have to attach it on this side and attach it on this side. Okay, and then that is it for page 7. Okay, And then this gets attached to page 8. So now we're on page 8. Alright, so for page 8, we have our diagram. We have our 12 by 12 paper, and we have our book. And we have our other piece that's going to show us how to get this together, okay? So you have your blank page that attaches to page 7. You flip it over. You have 2 pockets. I have put these in here so that they go there. Put that other one too. I'm eventually going to back these up in black cardstock and they'll just sit right there. Okay? So you have this pocket here. Then you have a pocket here, and then this opens up here. Okay? So here's our 2 pockets, and then here's our pockets here. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to score at 3 inches and at 9 inches. You're going to flip it over. You're going to score at 6 1/16 from the top to the 3 inch. In the middle, you're going to score at 6. And then from the 9 inch score mark to the bottom, you're going to score at 6 1/16. You are going to, how we're going to do this, let me figure this out because I gotta remember. You're going to, so it goes like this. So you're going to cut at the 3 inch mark up to your 9 inch mark, and then you're going to cut across all the way to the 6 1/16. Okay? And then you're going to do the same thing on this one. You're going to cut at the 3 inch mark, and then you're going to up to the 3 inch score line. Then you're going to cut up to the 6 1/16 mark. Okay? So let's get that started. And there's no required for the score marks here because we're just going to fold those over. Alright. So to begin, you are going to score at 3 inches. Score at 3 inches. Flip it around and score at 3 inches. Okay? Then you are going to flip it over. You are going to grab your ruler. We're going to make all of our tally marks now. We're going to put this in and we are going to make a tally mark at 3 inches. And then we're going to make a tally mark at 6 1/16. We're going to come down here to the bottom, making sure that we're even. And we're going to score at 3 inches, or make a tally mark at 3 inches, and then 6 1/16. What I'm going to do is take this, put our 2 pieces lines together. I'm going to do from the 3 inch mark up to the edge, from the 9 inch mark all the way to the edge, and then this one, 6 1/16, I'm just going to connect it from the 3 inch score mark to the end of the paper, and the 3 inch score mark to the end of the paper. Okay? And that's all you're going to need right now. So, I'm going to put my paper, my 6 1/16 mark at the 6 inch mark. I'm going to score on that line. Okay? I'm going to flip it over I'm going to put my next tally mark at the 6-inch mark. And I'm going to score on that line. Okay? Then I'm going to put my piece back in. And I'm going to set it at the 6 inches. And I'm going to score at the 6-inch mark. As long as you're not using dark paper, you can see the grooves in the paper. Okay? Now we're going to grab our scissors. We're going to cut at the 3-inch mark down here to the 3-inch mark in your score line. Then I'm going to cut on my 9-inch score line or 3-inch score line all the way to the 6 1/16. Okay? Then I'll flip it over. I'm going to cut from the 3-inch mark to my 3-inch score mark. Then I'm going to cut from the 3-inch score mark on the 3-inch score mark all the way to the 6 1/16. Okay? Now, what's going to happen is this is going to fold down. This is going to fold down. Or up, sorry. Make sure that they're even. Okay? This piece is going to fold over. This piece is going to fold over. But because this folds up, we want this to go underneath. And we want this piece to go underneath. So now when we fold this over, we have our little pocket. Okay? So I added my pocket tabs here so I can have full effect of the pocket on the top and bottom. This one here, I put all you have to do is put a pocket tab on the bottom. That's all you have to do to this one. So all I did on here is I took this and I bent it down a little bit, leaving about a 1/2 inch, and then fold it. And then to get this one, to make sure you get it in the right direction, I would put it on this one first, and then fold it. So now you have your pocket. You can always just put a bead of glue underneath here, or a real thin score tape here, and then your pocket's done. And then the same thing here, put a bead of glue on each side of here, and underneath here, and then attach it. Or you can use your pockets, strips, so you can get full effect of the pockets. And that is it for page 8. Okay, now we're on to page 9. Alright, for page 9, we have our graph, we have our 12 by 12 paper, we have our demo, and we have our book. So for the opening of the book, you have, or our flap, so you have a plain page here. Open it up, you have a pocket. Pull this down and you have another pocket. Very simple. Okay, so pocket here, pull down, and then you have a pocket. What you're going to do is you're going to score at 6 inches, flip it around. The top half you're going to score at 6 inches. The bottom half you're going to score at 6 1/16. And then you're just going to cut this corner off. Okay? So to get started, we're going to score at 6 inches all the way across. Flip it around. We're going to score at 6 inches from the top to that middle score line. Okay? I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to put my ruler on the 6-inch mark. Okay. Make sure that it's even. And then I'm going to mark at 6 1/16. Okay. So we're going to put it up here at the top, and we're going to score at 6 1/16. Or if your score mark comes over here, it'd be 5 15/16. Okay? So now I'm going to put this, my little tally mark at the top at the 6-inch, making sure that it's even all the way across. And then I'm going to score from one tally mark to the other tally mark. Okay? Then I am going to, nope, I did that wrong. So this one's at 6 inches. We're going to leave it back over here. So 6, I did this one wrong. Sorry. So we're going to leave it there. We're going to do it at the 6 1/16 on this side. It'll be on the bottom, and it'll be on the right side. It'll be on the right side of that 6-inch mark. Okay? So then we got to do it over here. Making sure that we're correct and even. And 6 1/16. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it back over. And I'm going to score at, put it at the 6-inch mark, and then I'm going to score it. There we go. That's better. Alright. So, let's reiterate that. So we have it scored at 6 inches all the way across. We'll go all the way down. We're going to turn it. We're going to score from 6 inches at the top to 6 inches at the middle section. We're going to make a tally mark at 6 1/8 on both ends of here. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put my tally mark at the 6-inch mark, and then I'm going to score from tally mark to tally mark. Okay? That's all you're going to do on that one. So what you're going to do is, there's only one cut. So make a triangle to the middle at the 6-inch. Okay. Then all you're going to do is you're going to cut on your line from corner to corner. That's all the cutting you do on this one. This one's very simple. Okay? Now, this one flips up. Yep, so this one flips up. This one flips over, so you have to cut it until you get to the 6 1/16 mark on that 6-inch mark. So I'll fold in. You're going to fold this over, and there's going to be a little bit of a thing here, but that's okay. We're going to fix that when we get done. This folds up. Nothing is hindering the score marks. And then this one folds over. And that is it for page 9. Okay? We're going to do page. Alright, so for page 10, we are going to need the diagram. We're going to need our 12 by 12 paper, our photo album, and our demo. So for this demo, we have 2 pockets, or you can leave them as flaps, whatever you decide. And then we have 2 flaps, or you can make these as pockets. I left them as flaps. Okay? So let's get started. So what you're going to do is you're going to score at 6 inches all the way across. You're going to turn it around. You're going to score at 6 inches from the top to the 6-inch score line. You're going to flip it over. The top one is going to be cut at the 6 1/16 of an inch. And then you're going to make a score mark at 4 and a score mark at 2. You're going to cut right here on the edge, from the edge to the 2-inch mark on the 6-inch score line. And then you're going to cut from the 4-inch mark to the 6 1/16. Okay? So what that looks like is, we're going to put this in. We're going to score at 6 inches. We are going to flip it over. We're going to score at 6 inches on the top half. On the bottom half, we want this to be at, actually it's the top half. So we're going to flip this over. These go up. Alright. So we are going to put our ruler in at the 6-inch mark. So we know we have the middle. Then we are going to make a tally mark at the 6 1/16. Okay? We're going to come up here and we are going to make a tally mark at the 6 1/16. Okay? We're going to take our score. We're going to take our tally mark and put it at the 6-inch mark, making sure that we're even everywhere. And then we're going to score from tally mark to tally mark. Okay? Then you're going to score at 2 inches to your middle score mark. Then you're going to, I'm going to flip it over this way, and I'm going to score at 4. Okay, to your 6-inch mark. So if you want to flip it back over, you can, and put it on the 8 to make sure that you got it and it's okay. Making sure that it's even, and we're going to score at the 8 mark. This paper is a little shorter than 12 inches, so that's why I did it. That's why I scored at 2, I flipped it over, and then I scored at 4, just to make sure that I get the right score marks. Alright. So all you're going to do is cut this edge here on the 6-inch mark from the edge to the 2-inch score line. Okay? We are going to cut the 6 1/16 score mark to the 6-inch in the middle. Then you're going to cut on the 6-inch from the 6 1/16 to the 4-inch. Okay? So now you're left with a cut here a cut down here, and a cut here. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold this top portion up, down. Then you're going to fold this piece up. Then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to fold this piece down. And then you're going to fold this piece up. And then it folds in half. And that is it for page 10. So we are going to take a small break, and then we will get into the binding.